Council has a general biosecurity duty under legislation. We have to control the weeds on our own land and prevent them from spreading. Just like our inspection program, it's risk-based, protecting priority assets, working from the least to the worst areas. The Biosecurity Act and Biosecurity Duty means we have to put in practices for hygiene so we minimise the spread of the certain plants. It could also mean looking at where we're obtaining soil and plants. Sometimes these can contain weeds in there, so we weigh up the risks versus the benefits. We're working on eradicating small infestations of weeds like gauze and fireweed. A lot of planning goes into our control program, and we have a system in place that allows us to record what species has been found and how much control and time has gone on to those species. That provides us information for our next year's program. So where we may not have found a plant species on our roadside or a piece of council land, we'll reschedule for a few years' time and we'll go back and check it again. Other areas where we have found the species that we're targeting, we will control the first. A typical year for us will be targeting grassy weeds that we can control at that specific time of the year, late autumn to winter months. And then as we head into summer, we'll move on to the brooms and gauze, then leading into our St John's worts program. It's one of our most difficult programs to run. We have a short window of control. It could be a few weeks to a few months, depending on the seasonal conditions. Blackberry control will usually start late January up until April. The reason we do blackberry then is once the plant is fruiting, it helps transfer those herbicides down into the root system where you get a better kill. It also allows us to focus more on our St John's wort program during that time because of that short window. We have over 2,000 hectares of reserves, so it's important for us to go in there and protect those priority assets and control the weeds that have an impact on those endangered ecological communities or threatened species. As part of our biosecurity control program, we use herbicides on council roads and land. We have a team of weed controllers. One of the first things they'll be doing is setting up signs to alert the traffic. It's a dangerous area for them. Please, if you see the signs, slow down. On windy and wet days, the team will move into controlling weeds on sensitive sites or on some of our roadsides where we will do cut and dab, or it might be just manually chipping out some of the grassy weeds or using brush cutters and cutting down some of the bigger infestations so we can come back and treat it at a later time with a herbicide. We switch through to different groups of chemicals so we don't build up resistance, and we have a regular inspection program to see how the control work's going and whether we need to change priorities on areas that we're targeting. Council doesn't control weeds on land that we don't manage. However, we do work with other government agencies who have land within our council and often apply for grants like the Crown Lands Grant system to seek funding to control those weeds in those priority areas.